All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. People on Zoom, hopefully you can hear me okay. If you have any questions at any point, go ahead and drop them into the chat. And we'll answer those kind of as we go along. Well, thank you everybody for being here on Zoom and in person. My name is Mr. Pat Valletta. I am the director of the Arrupe Summer Program. So we'll kind of run through what a basic day looks like, and answer any questions that you have kind of about our program. So let's start with COVID protocols. So I think that's probably first and foremost in everybody's mind, making sure that we can get through a summer program safe. And so we will be following the protocols that Urban has put into place. If we're in the building here, that's what we'll be following. And so these are the updated protocols that Urban has put in place for the summer. So any student who tests positive for COVID needs to quarantine for 5 days from their onset of symptoms. So not from when the test was, but from when their symptoms started. Yeah, if you just want to flip through, it should be fine. So 5 days from onset of symptoms after if a student is positive, hopefully you can report that to me. So hopefully you guys should have all my email, but I'll send that out so that everybody has it. So that way we're not able to contact trace, but at least we then can communicate to you that your child was near or around a student that tested positive. If your child is in the classroom of a student that tests positive, we will let you know. More likely than not, we'll just let the entire camp know rather than try and figure out exactly which classroom, just to make sure that everybody knows. So we'll let you know. This is a new change as well, but then it's your decision if you would like your child to wear a mask. Even though I believe the current protocols that are in place is that if there's a positive case in a classroom, then the whole classroom wears a mask for I believe 5 or 7, maybe 10 days right now. Now it is up to you if you would like your child to wear a mask. If you would like a test to see if your child has COVID, the school will also provide everyone a test if an exposure happens. So if you would like a test, let me know, and with Urban's partnership with Metro, we'll make sure we get a test sent home for you for the child. And Urban is also going to be monitoring all the outbreaks, hopefully very few, at our camp, but in the building and throughout the city, and they potentially reserve the right to potentially increase quarantining, masking options. And our goal is to hopefully get through the summer program safe with as few of cases as possible. All right. So communication-wise, we will have a weekly take-home calendar for you. We will send a paper copy home. We will also email one out so that you have an idea of what's coming up. Our communications person, Mr. Connor Walters, will update our Facebook page as well. What pictures from the week, what's happening, what your kids are doing. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. That's my email address at any point over the summer. So a little bit about our camp. It's 4 weeks for 3rd through 8th graders. We have 180 students that will be with us this summer, so it's a lot of kids. In addition to those 180 students, we'll have about 60 or so high school people that will be participating with us as well. So a lot of kids. To be back pretty much at full capacity, which we had not the last 2 summers. Our camp is run by the Urban Neighborhood Partnership, where we actually work for Saint Ignatius High School in the building, running our program here in partnership with Urban. Obviously, our program is being held at Urban, and our focus is threefold: education. So summer learning loss is a real thing, and part of our focus is to hopefully kind of keep the kids on the tracks and mitigate the summer learning loss with a little bit of education. Recreation, it is a summer, right? So it should be fun. Get outside, do some sports, we'll do some arts, do a couple field trips, and then mentorship. So that's a big component with our high school people. How do we get high school people into relationships with grade school kids, and for them to get to know each other and do some mentoring? Yes. All right, so nuts and bolts. We begin camp each day at 9 o'clock. Breakfast is, so we provide breakfast and lunch each day for the kids. Breakfast is served from 8:25 to 8:50, so we open the doors at 8:25. If you need to drop your student off before then, you're welcome to, but we cannot guarantee supervision until about 8:20, 8:25. They'll just kind of be sitting out front, or if it's raining, the front doors to the school are open, they'll kind of be sitting in that last hour. Serve lunch around noon or so. Camp ends at 2:45. We'll give each camper two uniform T-shirts that we ask that it wears one of those shirts each day to camp. Other than that, they can wear pants, they can wear shorts. So camp shirt and closed-toed shoes are really the only two things that we require. We'll be out moving around outside, running. Flip-flops can get broken or they'll stub a toe or something. It's just easier. Closed-toed shoe. First day of camp is Monday, June 6th. Last day of camp is Thursday, June 30th. Typical morning schedule. So we'll have, I believe it is 11 or 12 regular days this year. Those regular mornings will look like this. Breakfast. Then we're going to gather everybody in the gym, kind of do a morning wake up and some announcements. Part of that morning is then also going to advisory. So advisory is like a homeroom, and we'll do some team building activities and get to know you so that the kids can get to know the high school people and vice versa. Then the kids will rotate through 4 classes: math, science, language arts, and healthy habits. Again, to try and help mitigate that summer learning loss. There will also be a recess in between those classes as well, get the kids outside, running around for a few minutes. And I also mentioned advisory in there as well. Afternoon schedule, we have lunch around noon, and then we do sports and arts in the afternoon. So each kid will do 2 of those sports there over the course of the summer. The 5 sports are basketball, soccer, football, volleyball, and lacrosse. Pretty good range. And then we're trying something new this year. So culinary arts has been the biggest, most popular art for the last number of years. Every kid gets really mad when they don't get it. Kids don't get it. So we're going to try something new. Every single kid is going to do culinary arts, which we're excited about. And then each kid will do one of those other 3. So Legos, fashion, or art expression. So fashion is, I don't remember exactly what they're going to do this year. I know one of the things for sure is they're going to decorate. Each kid's going to get white sunglasses and they get to design on them whatever they want. With Sharpie markers, and they get to take the glasses home. So pretty cool. But learning about maybe fashion through the years, maybe looking at different sneaker designs or why things are popular. The art expression, our staff person this year is going to be looking at 3 different artists and kind of explaining a little bit about each artist, kind of what medium they use, and then inviting the kids to design something along the line of what that artist, how that artist makes the art. Kind of exposing some different things, trying some out different artistic things. Legos is pretty self-explanatory, building different things out of Legos. If you don't like Legos, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's exactly. I don't think anybody likes stepping on Legos, right? And then culinary arts. We'll actually be in the kitchen cooking things with kids, teaching how to use the oven and the stove, obviously with adult supervision. They got what better way to learn than try it? So cooking some different things, and then they obviously get to eat what they cook. And then we're done at 2:45. So pretty much like a regular school day. So roles. What are the roles of the kids? Yeah, question. Yeah, absolutely. So for art, so for the sports and the arts, actually the sports, the kids will actually do all the sports. So the only one they're going to pick is which art that they want out of those three. And we're going to let them choose, and I do my best to try and get every kid their first choice. If, like in the past, if every kid wanted to do culinary arts, every kid couldn't do culinary arts. Now they can. But if we have 100 kids that want to do fashion, every kid can do that. But I do my best to try and get every kid plugged into which art they want. Yeah. All right, so rules. So what are the rules of the camper? Hopefully to be a student, right? So there's the academics. Be an athlete to whatever capacity that is, just give it a shot. That's all we're asking. We know not everybody's good at it. That's fine. Give it a shot. Same thing with being an artist. Right? For those arts, again, we know not every kid is a good artist or that's not up their alley. That's fine. Just give it a shot. And then be a friend. Be a good friend. There are a lot of urban students that will be participating in our program, but we do have lots of other students from the grade schools as well. So maybe hopefully making some friends, not only in the building, but beyond the building as well. Where some roles are for the counselors, those are the high school people. Hopefully be a good mentor. Part of that is that we will actually start with the high school people on Friday, June 3rd, and spend a whole day with them, getting them ready to be working with their kids. Just kind of throw them in on Monday and say, figure it out. We'll spend a whole day with them, getting them ready, talking about the kids we'll be working with, kind of going through the schedule a little bit, setting them up to be successful with your kids as well. Be a guide, be a coach, be a friend. So they're going to be participating in all the academics, all the sports, all the arts as well. And so part of our goal for them is also to have some fun, but to be a good friend, be a good coach, be a good guide for your kids. And then staff, you have a lot of teachers on our staff, which is nice. We have a lot of, some of our staff this year are people that have been counselors in the past. And we actually have a couple of people on our staff that have been campers. So we'll have seen our camp from many different levels, which we're excited about. So their role is to be a teacher, be a coach, and be a coordinator, guide, oversee all of the things that we'll be doing. All campers and counselors and staff are expected to be present each day. It is a free camp, so attendance is important. One note, we will not have camp on Monday, June 20th, so please make sure you plan accordingly for that. That is in observance of the new federal holiday, June 2nd. So please make sure you know that. All right, Arrupe Explorers, a little bit about Arrupe Explorers. So this is just our Rising 8th, Rising 9th group. So everything that I've talked about previous to this was for the 3rd through 6th grade. Arrupe Explorers is a little different. It's just our Rising 8th, Rising 9th. It's a group of only 25 students, so it's a little bit more small knit. And it's a little bit more flexible with that because there are only 25. And they're a little bit older, so we can try and do some different things. They'll do a little bit of math this summer. They'll do some language arts. Usually they read a book over the summer. We get them thinking about their future. So what high school, maybe for those rising 8th graders, could be a good fit. Maybe get them thinking about college a little bit, or what are the next steps professionally. Maybe what college do they need to go to, what job or career training do they need for whatever job that they're looking for. So we get them thinking about things along those lines. How do they be a good neighbor? So we'll do some different service projects with the Arrupe Explorer group. We'll do a little bit of fitness with them, and then we've done this for a couple of years now, but it's exciting every year. We'll take the kids and do crew, so that we'll actually take them down with the Saint Ignatius crew team, teach them how to row, and then actually get them into a boat on the river, which is pretty cool. So that's something new. And then they're going to do a couple of different field trips, probably in addition to the ones that the 3rd through 6th graders will do. But again, they're a little bit older, a little bit more flexible in the schedule. There's only 25 of them. So that's a little bit about Arrupe Explorers. So some expectations that we have, I kind of touched on a few of these. So the kids will get their t-shirts on the first day of camp on Monday the 6th. Hopefully they can wear one of those each day at camp. No flip-flops, closed-toed shoes. We ask that you label all of their clothing that they're coming with. You'd be surprised how much stuff that we have at the end of camp. It's amazing to me. But we want to get it back to you guys. So please make sure you label it. Every kid that, when we hand them their t-shirt, we'll put their initials like on the back here, like where the tag would be. So hopefully every kid has initials on their t-shirts, so we can get it to whoever it belongs to. Attendance, again, it's very important to us. It's free camp, so attendance is very important. That you're there each day. Obviously, we know things come up where kids get sick, especially if somebody comes down with COVID. But we ask that you let us know. Give us a call at the front desk here. Here's that number. I'll email this out to you as well so that you got the number. So please make sure.
Is there a bus this year from Green?
Oh, there is. Yes, there. Yeah, go ahead. Question. Yeah, good question. If you need to pick them up early, call that same number, and or shoot me either way. As early as you want. The earlier I know, the better I can plan it out. But if it's day of or something happens, like that's fine. You got to come get your kid. You got to come get your kid. But if there's an emergency, you just show up. Yeah, that's fine. But if you can give us a little bit of heads up, that'd be great. There is also a bus from Ignatius down to Urban. So if you live close to Ignatius, you're more than welcome to do that. The bus will leave in front of the Arupay house, which is behind the Green Center, if you're familiar with the campus, at 8:15. Bring the kids down here, drop them off. Same thing if you want your child to go get picked up at Saint Ignatius, that's fine. The bus will take them from Urban back down to Saint Ignatius in the same spot. They'll drop them off there at about 3 o'clock. So that's an option if anybody would like to use that. Yes. Nope, just hop on the bus. Yep. So some behavioral expectations that we have for a number of years now, we've used this REACH model. So we ask for respect, effort, and attitude across the board for kids, for high schoolers, for staff. It makes for a pretty easy conversation if there are any issues. But we have that's what we ask of each kid and everyone that's involved in our program. Choices are a big part of it too, right? So we encourage the kids to make some choices, and then we have high expectations again across of their academic work that they're going to do, of their sports and their arts participation, and then part of that high expectations earning the field trips that we always have a couple of kids that don't earn the opportunity to go on the field trip each time. That's okay. Hold kids accountable and follow through. Staff will be on hand and are trained to address issues, but if there's any issue that you think needs to be addressed, feel free to contact me at any point. Happy to work through it. And again, we just ask for good participation in all the classes. It's okay if the kids don't like what we're doing. We get it. It's summer. Sometimes we just want to relax, but just give it their best shot. That's all we're asking. All right.
Is there a camp phone number this year?
Yes, there is a camp phone number this year.
Yeah.
I think that's about all the presentation. What questions do you have? Yep. Don't know.
So the swim test is optional. If you don't want to do a swim test, or the child doesn't want to learn, can't learn to swim before the 3rd week of June, they will be wearing a life preserver in the boat. If they want to do a swim test, all that does is get them out of the mandatory life preserver. So it's up to, we will provide a swim test if they are interested. But in the boat, if they can't swim, they'll be wearing a swim. It would be in advance, I would say, yeah. And there's 2 boats out at the time, and then the coaches are in the boat very close to it, in case you're not familiar with crew on the water. So a coach's boat would grab anybody who might fall in, and then everybody would be in life preserver. This is like the 3rd or 4th summer that we've done this, and it has been, if kids are really freaking out about not wanting to go in the water, they're not gonna go in the water. Like, if they're crying, if they're very nervous, like, it's a mental health situation. Like, there's plenty to do down there in that road. But at the same time, we do want to encourage them to try it. A lot of them really do enjoy it. And it can be something they can do at the next level. In many of the high schools, including the CMSD high schools, crew is growing in popularity, especially across the street at the Foundry. So I'm all in the same boat with everybody. So whatever. But there's a lot of options for high school crew in the city right now.
What other questions? Yeah, so we have 2 formal field trips, and then a 3rd, we'll call it a field trip day. So the first one is actually a service morning. Where the kids will be doing different service projects around the school. Half the group will actually be walking to Monroe Cemetery and looking up the grounds of the cemetery. And then do a movie back here, kind of a light afternoon. The other 2 field trips are we're going to the zoo, spending all day at the zoo. And then the last one is a tour of Brown Stadium, and then going over and touring the USS Top. Good question. Do they need to provide sunscreen? No, you're more than welcome to send anything, a water bottle, sunscreen. We will have water provided at any of the things that we're doing outside. We'll also have sunscreen for them. But you're more than welcome to bring it, but we'll provide everything. Okay, yeah. You're welcome to do that. We'll have it all. Good question. So drop off and pick up. So are you familiar with how it works during the school year, or you're not? Okay, so drop off and pick up. So parents should come in off of West 47th Street, or come down West 45th all the way to Turn Avenue and kind of loop around up to 47th Street. This might sound confusing. So you come off either 47th or 45th, and then the driveway is off 47th Street into the front of the school. So the driveway is right behind the Metro Health Building, off of West 47th Street. So yes, so Carline Drive. Yep, you can walk them right up to the front of the school. Yep, so right where the cars are. Yeah, so anybody that is a walker, we will dismiss to the Blackfeet over by the multi-purpose room, which is basically where they just planted the new grass, kind of out in front of the circle. Which is it's basically between the urban building and the Metro building. Yeah. Yep. So that area is where we'll dismiss all the walkers. If you're a car rider, same thing. Same way you drop them off, same way you pick them up. Come in off of 47th or 45th, pull into the driveway. You'll come right into the front. There'll be someone in line, a staff person asking for the name of your student. We'll send that on the walkie. It'll get blasted over the PA system, and we'll send the kid out. So hopefully by the time you're in the front of the circle, your kid's right there to hop. Yeah, just tell the kid. Yep. Yes. I'm not sure of the younger kids. Oh, just for her? No, so as long as she knows if she's a walker or a rider, we're good with that. Yeah, as long as she knows where she's going, we're good. If for some reason the kid has no idea what they're supposed to do, they're gonna stand with me until we can get a hold of somebody and then we'll figure it out. Yes. That's fine. I think that was on part of the application process. Are you good with the child leaving, walking home? Yeah, if you're good with that and mention that, then we're good. Yep. Yep. Do we have any questions on that?
The reading program, will students in the reading program be able to participate in the Arrupe afternoon activities?
Students in the reading program, yes. So any child in the reading program or the math program, I believe is all being done in the morning before lunch. That's the last I heard. So all of the PM activities, they will participate fully.
So the reading and math programs, there's an urban community school reading and math enrichment for the summer, and then trying to work with them to figure out everybody's schedule.
Any other questions from Zoom?
We took care of them all so far.
Any other questions from you guys? Well, thank you for coming. If you have anything else or you want to talk to me individually, I'll be here for a little bit. Otherwise, shoot me an email if you have questions at any point before, during, or after camp. Otherwise, we look forward to a great summer. Thank you.
Thank you for